Ayo, welcome into CHGO Bets Daily. Well, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO. What am I doing here, Steven? Ayo, welcome into CHGO Bets Daily, presented by PointsBet. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. I'm Sean Anderson. I can't speak today. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Maybe it's because Cody Delmendo's dancing in a bubble next to me, floating bodiless. Cody Delmendo is my co-host. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. Cody, I have a question for you.
What's that, Sean?
How many bones does a human body have?
269.
Honestly, pretty close.
Can I try this one?
Yeah.
Is it 256?
No, it's 206. So, Cody, are you ready to gamble your 206 bones off? I am so ready for college football week 4. I'm finally getting in the groove of things. There's like 13 weeks. I'm really feeling settled in here. You've been on an absolute heater. I've been on a heater in MLB. My 2 big bets hit yesterday. I'm up to $42 in my bank. You're at, what, like 310?
310, yeah.
Disgusting.
Came out even last night because I went 0-2 on the NFL. But you know how I loved Coastal Carolina last night? Well, I loved them so much that I took them on the regular spread. Then it did an alternate spread to get it at plus 150. Took them at minus 6.5 as well. It was never a doubt. Neither one of them. It was awesome.
There you go.
Shout out to the Chanticleers. They're my favorite team in this Fun Belt.
Is that Sun Belt still?
Yes, the Fun Belt, yes.
So you're more of a Fun Belt guy than a Maction guy?
Yes. After last year, I had so much fun last year betting the Fun Belt that I'm now a Fun Belt guy. Yeah.
I got to get in on this with you. We got to become like the Fun Belt podcast because we can't bet on Illinois sports or Illinois colleges. So let's become a Fun Belt college. Let's just get right into it, Cody. You're just my favorite degenerate. You're my favorite degenerate that I know. You have 10 bets today for the college football?
Yeah, man.
Slate.
And then I'll probably have more tomorrow just because that's how much of a degenerate I am. But, we're starting it easy with just 10 of them. There's a lot of good games tomorrow, and that's why, though. But, I picked the 10 that I feel decent about. And, maybe if I have a couple drinks tomorrow, maybe I'll talk myself into more.
That's why you're my favorite. All right, let's get into your 10, your tremendous 10, as Cody or as Steven called it.
It's the realigned Big 10.
Oh, the realigned Big 10. Is that because there's 14?
No, there's 10.
Oh, there's 10. Okay.
There's 10.
All right, Cody, take me through your realigned Big 10 here.
All right, well, let's start with tonight, and that's the first 2 at the top. We got Nevada and Air Force over 46.5. Air Force coming off a bad loss to Wyoming. I believe they were double-digit favorites and lost outright. And Nevada, remember, they got creamed by Iowa, gave up 27 points somehow to that team, lost 27-0. Anyway, Nevada's not good. But if they're giving up 27 points to Iowa, I think that says something. Also, Air Force has scored 40 or more points in 2 of their 3 games this year. So the one they didn't was last week. So they're coming off again. They're coming off a bad loss. They're going to be looking to get back on track. The over 6-1 in their last 7 games, also 7-3 in their last 10 games after scoring less than 20 points in the game before. I love the bounce back situation here for Air Force. I wouldn't be surprised if they score at least 40 of them and then Nevada scores a touchdown or so. But if you look at Nevada's scores this year too, it's not like they're getting shut out every game. They're putting up some points. I don't think Air Force keeps them, completely down. But I do. I think the spread is 24.5. That's a lot of points. And given the situation, I don't see any value in that. So that's why I like the over at 46.5. I think it opened a little bit lower and it's just kept moving up. So, I liked it there. Virginia and Syracuse. Do I have that? Yeah, I do have it on this. Virginia and Syracuse under 53.5. Now the public is high on Syracuse minus 10. And I would take it too because Virginia has looked shitty the last 2 weeks. But ACC game, conference battle, maybe Virginia can hang around. It scares me. But I like the under because Virginia can't score points. They scored 3 points against Illinois, and they scored 16 against Old Dominion last week. Syracuse, their offense, they're 3-0. I'll give them credit. They're a good football team. They've been better than what anyone really expected. I like I like Syracuse to win that game. I don't know if they'll win by 10 to even push, but I like the under just because I don't trust anything about Virginia's offense. If you giving me 53.5 points, there's no way Syracuse is going to score over half of those, in my opinion. I mean, Virginia's defense is awful. So I just think it's going to be a boring game in that sense. So that's for tonight. Those are the two games I really love tonight. I like Boise State and UTEP under 45.5.
Well, here, real quick, let me give you a breath here because you still got 8 more to go. So let me catch your breath here. I'll go to the Air Force game because that one's in my big 2 here. We could also talk about Michigan because that's the first one on yours. Air Force to score 40 plus points at plus 125. They have played 6 times the Wolfpack and Air Force of Nevada Wolfpack and Air Force. Air Force has scored 40 times, 5 of the 6 times. They just have been able to put up points against Nevada. It doesn't matter the coach, it doesn't matter the regime, doesn't matter the players. Just I think their style of play works well against Nevada's style of play and consistent way of recruiting. So I'll go Air Force to at least score 40 points. We did see Iowa run the ball against Nevada, and just with Air Force's offense, I think that's going to play well into their strengths. So I'll say Air Force to score 40 plus points. And then Michigan first half spread at minus 10. I took it at minus 121. And what's up, Jack R, in the comments? Cody, I was afraid of a possible Maryland backdoor cover. I think they're going to kick Maryland's ass, but also I feel like they also might pull J.J. McCarthy, and he just might not be in the game for them to run the score up. So I'm iffy on the full game spread, but I think they'll be up by like 3 touchdowns at halftime.
Yeah, I mean that's a safe play. I don't hate it. I just think that this is a game where Michigan comes out and reminds everyone that not believe in them yet. That, hey, they were in the Final Four last year. I mean, their team is basically the same as last year. They've been demolishing every team they played this year. Like, they covered 47.5 points last week against Connecticut. I know UConn basically is an FCS program, but still, like, they've been demolishing teams. And that's what they did to Maryland last year. And basically, Maryland still has the same team, still have the same quarterback. They beat Maryland 59-18 last year. I think this is a prove it game a little bit for Michigan. Like, this is one of those, like, let's go and take care of business and make sure we continue to let the world know that, hey, we're it's not just Ohio State in this conference. So that's kind of the way that I'm looking at it. Also, last week, Maryland had 15 penalties for a total of 141 yards against SMU. They do that against Michigan. Michigan's just going to freaking just control this entire game, right, man. Like, I think Maryland, they did this last year where they start off, like, won their first 3 or 4 games and then faced a team like Michigan and got their butts kicked, like I said, 59-18 last year. So I think that I think 16.5 is safe. If it was in the 20s, I would probably be like what you're doing, like maybe do the first half or just avoid it. But I think 16.5 is fair. I think it's up to 17 now. So a lot of the public is on Michigan. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. You want me to keep going? Got 7 more, baby.
Yeah, let's keep going real quick. Jack R said, Sean, are you ready to jump on the Guardians, our World Series contender bandwagon yet? Absolutely not. I think they'll still lose in the first round. I think they're a tough out, but you just have to hit home runs against them. The White Sox have never done that. The White Sox don't hit home runs against them, Jack R. I don't need to bring this up. You're just opening up wounds that don't need to be opened, Jack, on the Bets show. I'm safe here.
Hey, I haven't said anything. I've been quiet about it. All right. Anyway, Duke, Kansas under 63.5. I think it opened at 60, so a lot of people are on the over. And I don't blame them. Kansas has been putting up a ton of points. But the reason I like the under is because Duke has one of the slower tempos in the country. They average like 30.1 seconds per play. Like, they take their time, man. And, they've only allowed 2 rushing attempts over 20 yards. Yes, I have this all written in notes, Sean. I don't just have this all stuck in my head. So I think
you're prepared. Congrats.
Yes. I think there will be points, but I'm considering how this game is going to start. I think this game is going to start slow because Kansas coming home, they're 3-0. When's the last time they were 3-0 and being a 7-point favorite against anyone really outside of like an FCS program that they'll that they always face at the beginning of the year. Like, I am interested to see how Kansas performs as a favorite. Like, they've been the hunted for so long. And I like their team. Like, I love their quarterback. He's fun and everything. And the only thing I really like about Duke is that their defense is okay. So I just think that this game might start slow and points will come later, but it might be too late to hit over 63.5. So that's why I like that. Notre Dame money line. As we said before the show started, you said that the line was on Notre Dame as the favorite. Now they're a dog. Got them at plus 105 or plus 110. I can't remember. The reason I like it is, one, like, the Notre Dame, like, they finally got that win on got the Freeman win, the first win of the Freeman era last week. I know it was Cal and it was a disgusting game, but that's every Notre Dame game. I think that game's going to be disgusting, and I don't know how UNC is going to be able to play up to that. UNC is a great offense. Their quarterback is really good, but their defense sucks. And if Notre Dame can just run it down their throats, then, like, they can control the clock and they'll be able to do whatever they want. I am going to continue to bet against UNC until UNC finally convinces me that they can beat good teams. They have, in the past, they have ruined me. They have ruined me so many times against good teams in the past, and even against teams that they're supposed to be better than. I'm not a believer. That said, again, I do think UNC's quarterback is good. It's just, will they be able to stop Notre Dame? Even this Notre Dame team, I don't know, because, again, I think their defense is awful.
That's why they brought in Mac Brown, though, was, Larry Fedora couldn't make those big jumps for the North Carolina program. And, that's why all these boosters shelled out to get Mac Brown back in Carolina Blue. So I think this is going to be a huge game for North Carolina, especially being at home, welcoming in Notre Dame. I'm just staying away from that game because I like Drew May. I think that he'll be able to have a good game. I really liked what I saw in that Appalachian State game. I think that team's very good, even though they took Troy to the wire and got bailed out by that Hail Mary. But I really do like North Carolina. I'm just staying away from it because it is North Carolina football. So I understand your point there of betting against North Carolina. I just haven't been burned by North Carolina to even take it. So I'm iffy on that one. Wake Forest, though, you like them at +7? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I like Wake Forest +7, mainly because I just don't trust Clemson's quarterback. He's going to go on the road to – honestly, it's going to be Clemson's first real big test. And same thing for Wake Forest, but they definitely have a better quarterback than any of the three teams that Clemson's faced, in my opinion. They gave up 21 points to Louisiana Tech last week. This Wake Forest team's ranked too. They're in I think they're ranked number 21, somewhere in there. Like, Clemson, I think, is better than last year, but again, their quarterback issues or questions at least, leave me up to thinking that laying a touchdown with Wake Forest is smart. I think it's not a bad play. I like UCLA Colorado over 57, mainly because Colorado's defense is so bad. Minnesota ran all over them last week. UCLA has a great rushing offense as well. And UCLA struggles to pressure the quarterback. So maybe Colorado can get it, 14 points up. I think the spread's like 21.5. I think UCLA covers that, but I just like betting the total on this game because I'm not going to watch it. And I just think that I think there's just going to be a lot of points because Colorado can't stop anyone. If Minnesota is going to run all over them, then, like, I think UCLA, who also won 44-20 last year, and with basically the same offense, I like their chances to go over 57. Then next we got Texas A&M and Arkansas under 50. Texas A&M, great defense, right? And Arkansas, they love to run the ball. They got a dual threat quarterback. They got Rocket Sanders at running back. Like they both teams like to run the ball. And but the Texas A&M offense is really the big question. Giving me 50 points with Texas A&M, I'll take the under. What do you call it? And then we got Oregon State and Texas Tech in Texas over. Okay, Oregon State, I'm taking 5.5 because they're a home dog. And this is, like, basically, in my opinion, USC's first big test. It's kind of similar to, like, what I was saying about Clemson and Wake Forest, right? Oregon State at home, they've played well this year. They played well late last year.
Are you basing this off the Boise State win? Because we were so high on Boise State.
I am not basing this off the Boise State win. I just think Oregon State's playing well right now.
I think
playing
USC
well right now, and
I think USC kicks the shit out of this fucking team. I think USC destroys the Beavers. I think they're going to try to play USC ball against Oregon State, and that's exactly what the White Sox tried to do against the Guardians. They got their ass kicked. I think they're going to get their ass kicked.
Well, again, this is the first big test for USC. They haven't played anyone respectable yet. I do think Oregon State, they've proven me wrong. I wasn't high on them at the beginning of the year, but they have played well this year. I think that they will be in the game. I like it. I wish I would have got it at 6.5 because it was a 6.5 for most of the week. Now it's down to 5.5, which means there's money coming in on the Beavers. So it is what it is. I'm not super confident about it, but I do like a home dog. You know how I am, man. I love a good home divisional or conference dog. And then Texas and Texas Tech. This is a big rivalry. Last year, tons of points were scored. So I'm going to take the over again at 61. It seems kind of low considering how many points were scored last year. Scored over 100 points total last year. And I don't think Texas's starting quarterback is going to play, at least from what I could read. Maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But their backup's been fine, though. And again, Texas really surprised me with how they play against Alabama, and they've played well since then. I just think this is going to be a back and forth, lots of points. 61 seems low to me for something like that, especially when they totaled over 100 points last year. I like the over in that. I like more overs this week. I forced myself to take more overs this week. Took too many unders last week. So I'm trying to have more fun this week. We're rooting for all these kids to score points.
Yes, we are rooting for the boys to put up points. And if you're looking to place bets on these points and those boys to score over those points, PointsBet's the best place to do so. This football season, PointsBet's bring you a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad's over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet. You could bet on the next drive to be a touchdown and cash out your live second-half over bet. With PointsBet, you have access to more live football markets than ever before, and you can build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. Choose the outcome of the next drive and next points with PointsBet's Lightning Bets. So whether you're on the couch or on the move, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today and use code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. And if you deposit $50 or more as a new user using code CHGO, you'll also get a yearly member to allchgo.com, and you'll get access to our CHGO Discord. We call it the CHGO Lounge. And you get a free t-shirt from the CHGO Locker. So it is the best deal out there. I do want to give a shout out to Jack R., who's always hanging out with us in the comments. Michael Penix of the Washington football team, the Huskies. He got Michael Penix to win Heisman at 100 to 1, and now it's at 40 to 1. So great odds there.
He's been really good.
Great play.
He's been really good. Yeah, he made Michigan State's defense not look like a defense last week. So I can't remember who they play this week, but that's a game that I might consider as well. Also, Michigan State and Minnesota, I'm avoiding it. That game, I don't know what's going to happen because I can't – I want to take Michigan State. They're a home dog, but spread's only 3. I don't want to trust PJ Fleck. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this Michigan State team right now, especially after how they just got beat up by Washington, which I thought that Washington was going to win, but I didn't think it would be as bad as it was. It was bad.
I'd avoid it. I don't know what Michigan State is, and I was surprised they hired Mel Tucker. I know he was good there and helped, but I mean, they gave Mel Tucker so much money. Why? I remember Mel Tucker. I don't know. I know he was doing great with Georgia State. He's turned his career around in college, but still, we saw Mel Tucker as a Bears coach. I wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
Nope. I don't know about your Oregon stuff here, your Oregon State stuff, and I know Steven wants me to get to the parlays because it's almost 6. But I honestly might put together a parlay of USC minus 13.5, Michigan minus 20.5, and Clemson minus 9.5, just to fade you. And I understand that you have Michigan 16.5, and I just talked myself into them not doing it. But at that point, if I'm just playing around, I think I might just take Michigan. Because also I just looked at the scores from the past year. The closest that Maryland's been is 21. They have a decent quarterback, and maybe Michigan lays off a little bit, but they didn't last year. So I don't know. That might be I might end up taking 16.5 with you because that is pretty low. But I don't know about USC. I think they kick the hell out of Oregon State. But let's
They
go
should,
into,
right? They should.
They should.
But I just don't know. That's the thing with college football is like anything can happen. And I just feel like USC is due for some like regression. They've played so well, but they're due for some regression, in my opinion. So USC will probably win by 2 touchdowns now that I said that.
well,
so take that 13.5. Yeah, I know.
Right. Yeah, so I think I'll probably end up taking that 13. I think they'll win by 2 touchdowns. I'm not sure. All right, let's get into some of the parlays. We'll go to Parlay City. You used to go to Party City when you were a kid. Why not go to Parlay City when you're an adult, right? They should make that. These are kind of more favorites that I put together to get plus odds. So I'm going Tulsa, Ole Miss over 61.5. I think that is the original over. But then I teased down Baylor and Iowa State under 49.5. I think it was at 45.5. So I put it up to 49.5, got 4 points. And then I got Arkansas State, I think it's Arkansas State at Old Dominion over 5.5, 55.5. That one I think was at 59.5, so I got about 4 points on that one too. And I got that at plus 362. So Arkansas State at Old Dominion over 55.5, Baylor at Iowa State under 49.5, and Tulsa at Ole Miss over 61.5. I think all of those should be able to hit, and they should be fun to watch too, especially that Tulsa Ole Miss game if you love offense.
Yeah. I don't know a ton about Arkansas State, but I do know they're not good, at least the last few years. I've loved betting against them whenever it comes to the Fun Belt and they're playing on like a Tuesday or Thursday night. But Old Dominion, man, like their offense looked real bad last week. Like, yeah. I don't know. You had it under 55.5, right?
No, I had over.
You have the over? Yeah. Well, maybe. I mean, again, that was against an ACC school. Now this
is Arkansas State.
Maybe perhaps there's points to be. I mean, if they had it high up anyway, then there's a reason. I just don't know enough about either school. But from watching Old Dominion last week, man, like they just couldn't finish drives. So maybe if they can get some momentum going, then maybe that will hit for you.
It's their first Fun Belt game, so you'd assume it would be fun.
Yeah. They do like to have fun in the Fun Belt. So, yeah,
right.
I do love a good over in the Fun Belt.
So fingers crossed on that one. Do you want to give one of yours, and then I'll you just gave yours.
I mean, you kind of talked about it, but, Steven, if you want to put it up there real quick.
Okay. I saw Steven flashed it. That's what I saw.
Yeah. So I already talked about Notre Dame money line, mainly just because, I just think they're getting back into, like, what they do. As much as I don't think they should ever be in the talk for the Final Four every year, but whatever. This is kind of like a must-win game for them, in my opinion. Like they need to win this game, and they should with the defense that they have. Arkansas money line against Texas A&M. I just think they have a better offense, and their defense is solid as well. Will Texas A&M be able to keep up with them? I don't know. I think Arkansas has a much better quarterback, and honestly, Arkansas +2 isn't a bad bet. Or if you want to take it single, but. That's why I threw them in this parlay because I like them. And then Oregon State money line. Again, I think that things get weird in college football. And the Pac-12 is not good, and USC has dominated so far. But they're due for some regression. We'll see. We'll see, Sean.
I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to go with a who's let the dogs out parlay too. Yours is a little bit lower than mine. I mean, you had 13-1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had 45-1. I like this as like more of like a 35-1, so I think I'm getting great value. I also got the points bet boost on this, but Louisiana Tech money line, Missouri money line. Shout out to our guy Ryan Herrera for that, and then I'm also gonna go Buffalo money line. Buffalo is going up against a team that's quarterback is hurt. Louisiana Tech's going up against South Alabama, but I think that they'll be able to actually win that game. And then Missouri is going up against think it is Auburn. Yeah, so I like just those 3 dogs. No particular reason. Just the only one that I really feel iffy about is Ryan Herrera's Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah, like that one's a little tough because the spot isn't comfortable. I mean, Auburn just got their butts kicked at home by Penn State. I mean, imagine being an SEC school and getting beat by a bunch of Midwestern kids from Pennsylvania. I mean, they're going to come out angry, I think, and they're going to, put their boots on and wear all their polos and shit like all those kids do at the SEC schools, and they're going to be ready to beat up on Mizzou. I don't know. That said, I don't know a ton about Mizzou football. 7 points is, as a touchdown, you on the spread. I mean, especially given the spot, I wouldn't mind taking that +7, but hey, whatever, man. There's a reason that there's high odds in that one. Like,
right.
Best of luck, man. Like, you hit that one, then you can tell me how wrong I was about Oregon State on Tuesday.
That's just me taking a shot. I'm not. This has nothing to do with Oregon State. I'm betting on the Fun Belt. I'm betting on Missouri football, and I'm betting on what was the other team in that one? I forget now at this point.
Yeah.
I'm betting on a Buffalo money line. So I'm just having the MEAC. I'm way too across everything. So let's wrap this up because I know Steven wants to get working and prepping on the White Sox pregame show because this is hot content, Cody. The White Sox are the hottest team in town.
Yeah. I do want you. Roquan Smith and Jalen Johnson were put on the report as questionable. So
yeah, it's a hip injury.
I'm just saying,
Roquan.
if they're out, I know on Tuesday I said I like the Bears at -3, but if those two guys are out, then I'm flipping. I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah,
those two guys are out. That's gonna for the Bears defense.
I understand your vibe, but I don't know. It's the Texans, so I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference. It's just really which team.
I still
has
like the
least
under
penalties
either
and
way.
which. Yeah, I like the under. That's for damn sure. Jack Arf saying thoughts on IU Cincinnati. IU is trying to snap the Bearcats' 28-game home winning streak. Right now, the spread is 16.5. But the Hoosiers 3-0. They are 1-2 against the spread. You like Cincinnati?
Yeah, I like the Bearcats in this one. IU should be 2-1. They had no business beating Illinois a few weeks ago, and Jack Ard knows it.
Salty.
So, yeah, just a little bit. But he also knows it whether I was an Illini fan or not. We got the full reaction of Illinois losing that game on the Cubs podcast a few weeks ago. So, yeah. No, I just think Cincinnati's a better team. That's basically what I think.
Yeah,
and
I'll take
IU's offense isn't that good.
I'll take Indiana on the spread. I think 16.5 is too much, but I do think that Cincinnati showing that they can hold themselves against Arkansas, only losing by 7, I think proves that they'll probably be able to hold down home field advantage there. All right, that's Cody Delmendo. You can follow Dumb-Metrics on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. Look at all the prep he did. He's got you set up for like 13 college football games. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. This is the show where we're always on heaters and going to be on a boat very, very soon. We'll talk to you tomorrow when we are, of course, millionaires.